the region, thus an importer of wheat.
Indeed, many impacts on Africa due to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. To shed more light on that, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Mr. Raouf Gaafar, our economic expert. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Gaafar.
Good afternoon to you, my dear.
Mr. Gaafar, food prices have already been soaring in Africa. Would you say this is restricted to the Black Continent or the global occurrence due to the current circumstances and the Russian invasion to Ukraine?
The whole world will be affected by this conflict.
Yes.
As we heard and as we see, all the exchanges are and the bourses are going down, falling. Prices will eventually increase due to the fact that the oil and gas prices will go up. That will reflect on the prices of everything, transport costs, etc., which means that the whole world will suffer from the conflict that is happening. We all pray that it does not take long. Looks like it will take some time, but we hope that it will end soon so that things can stabilize a little bit, or else the whole world will be affected. Of course, Africa will be affected. Africa is very vulnerable. Africa is a poor continent that is very price conscious. So any change in prices of any commodity or any good reflects on the economy, weak economy, I should say, of most of the African states. So Africa will suffer, maybe more than other countries and continents, but unfortunately, most sad, this conflict will result into a lot of negative impact everywhere.
Yes. Sir, the wheat and other grains are back on the heart of the geopolitics, and that is coming following the Russian invasion of Ukraine, as both countries are playing a major role in the global agricultural market. How would you list the effects of the war on the food prices, in particular in Africa?
As we know, Ukraine and Russia are, if not are among the largest growers and supplier and exporters of wheat, particularly. And wheat is a very strategic and very essential commodity for almost the whole world. So, of course, and other, of course, agricultural products. But this comes as the top of the list. Of course, prices of wheat going up means that everybody will suffer. So again, Africa, Egypt as well, we import a lot of our needs from wheat. We will sustain. We will try and sustain some of and assimilate the price increase, but unfortunately, we will seek alternative, of course, suppliers, and but we are looking into a higher price, and hopefully we have enough strategic provision and reserve. But we need it all the time, and so Egypt and other African countries importing particularly wheat and agricultural goods from these two large countries will definitely suffer, and the commodities market in the whole world, particularly as far as wheat and other agro products are concerned, will definitely go high and high.
Sir, what food and commodities would witness the biggest price increases from your point of view due to this coming circumstances or the current circumstances of the war?
I think wheat. In my opinion, wheat will see a very high increase, and as I said, wheat is one of the very most essential commodities, and when prices increases, it affects the life of billions of people all around the world. So I think that this will come on top of the list as the highest increasing commodity in the coming few weeks, I should say.
Yes. Mr. Gaafar, Africa actually is the biggest importer of wheat and sunflower oil. How possible is it for the countries to consider substitutes?
They will do their best to find alternative sources. As a matter of fact, other countries produce, but normally when you are tied with a supplier for a long time, you get preferential prices, you get all sorts of deals. But when it comes to looking for alternative sources, unfortunately some of them might take advantage, and some of them by default have higher prices. Quantities, of course, will be less, so the price will increase. I mean, from every aspect, doesn't look nice. But I'm sure that Egypt and other African countries have alternatives, and they will look, of course, for the alternatives. If I'm talking Egypt, alhamdulillah, thank God, the season, or the wheat season is about to start, so we are now, the crop is by the end of probably March will be in the market, the local product, I mean. So this will mean that we might postpone a little bit our supplies from abroad, but eventually we will look for alternatives if the situation continues.
Yes. Sir, how do developments dictate closer cooperation among the different African countries?
I beg your pardon?
How do developments dictate closer cooperation among the different African states?
I mean, our president has always been calling for integration between the African countries. And in such crises, this value comes very important. It means that if we work together, if we exchange our products together, if we complement our selves, one country to the other, I think we can less depend on foreign suppliers and sources, and this, in the event that such a mishap occurs, then we maybe we can be in a better position. So I repeat, the idea of integration, the idea of commerce and increasing the commercial and economic ties with one another within the African continent will be a blessing for all countries, as I said, in such bad circumstances.
Sir, there is actually talk now about an increase in wheat cultivation in Egypt. How soon would the effects of such an increase be felt actually if implemented?
At least one season, at least 1 year. I mean, this year finished. We are the crop is due next month. So we are, as we heard, the president gave the directives to increase the area of wheat to try and sort of increase the percentage of self-sufficiency in a way to reach maybe 40, 50. We still import about 70% of our